Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what I learned going from 2 kids to 3. If you're new here, I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 4-month-old, almost 5-month-old. So I'm going to be going over what I learned going from 2 kids to 3. I noticed that going from 2 kids to 3 was a lot harder than going from 1 to 2, and I know that I follow a few moms on Instagram who say the opposite, and so I've noticed that there's kind of a trend with it's either harder to go from 1 to 2, or it's harder to go from 2 to 3, or multiples on that. But I am not having more than 3 kids, so this is just my overview of what I learned going from 2 kids to 3. If you like videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure that your bell notification is turned on. My name is Tabby, and my oldest is Carter. He's 9, William is 3, and Lennox is 4 months. And I typically do like vlogging type of videos, but I thought I would incorporate more of sit-down videos into my channel and see how you guys like that. Like I said, if you like these types of videos or you like the vlogging, let me know in the comments below and we will get right into it. So one of the biggest things that I learned going from 2 kids to 3 and a little bit going from 1 to 2 is you really don't need everything that you think you need. Besides if your baby is formula fed or breastfed, the only things that you need for the most part are diapers, wipes, formula, or breast milk. Like if you're nursing, then that won't matter because you'll just need like a nursing bra or like nipple cream, stuff like that. And then clothes and diaper rash cream, just like the essentials. When I had Carter and even when I had William, because they're 6 years apart, I had it in my head, we need A through Z, which didn't really work out well because I live in a small home, and so I have all this stuff kind of cluttering my house, which causes me stress. And over the last week or two, I've kind of been purging my house and getting rid of stuff that I know causes me stress, stuff that's just sitting around. And right now I do have a couple of things just sitting around in my house. They're waiting to be shipped out, but even so, just looking at them really makes me anxious. So that's one thing that I learned is you really don't need all of the frilly, I call the extra stuff. Baby needs to be fed, baby needs to be washed, baby needs clothes, diapers, that kind of thing, the essentials. And then get some Aquaphor. For Lennox has eczema, so we have to make sure that his skin is constantly moisturized, and he is right now on a steroid because it's flaring up. But for baby skin, at least from what our pediatrician told us, Aquaphor is the best that you could do, or even I was using Vaseline for a little bit there. They're basically the same thing, it's just petroleum jelly. Get some good jelly-based lubricant, barrier to put on your baby's skin. Our winters here are cold and windy. We don't get snow very much. It's not like a constant, snow for 3 months, but it's cold and it's windy. And so we need to have, at least in our area, we have to have a lot of moisturizing lotion and that kind of thing. But Lennox can't have fragrance. William and Carter have never had any real issues with their skin besides their cranial cap, which I learned yesterday is a skin issue. I didn't know that. I just assumed that all babies had cranial cap, which is not the case. Second thing is getting out the door on time will be practically impossible. Getting out the door with Carter was a lot easier because it was just one, but even when I had William, it was still not that hard. But with Lennox, because I have a 9-year-old and I have a 3-year-old and I have a 4-month-old. And so if you've ever tried to get a 3-year-old out the door and you're like, hey, let's go, they think it's playtime. And it's not playtime. We have deadlines to meet. So that was one thing that I noticed was harder. I have to allot myself a lot more time. I have to give myself a lot more time, an extra 30 minutes in the morning, especially because Carter has to be to school 8:35-ish, 8:30 to 8:40. So I have to make sure that we are up no later than 7:30 to allow enough time to get both of the littlest ones ready, and then to make sure the Carter gets ready, because he's one of those kids that just loves his sleep. So, and all of my kids are that way. They've always been really good sleepers. Lennox is a little bit of a rougher sleeper than William and Carter were. Lennox is, like I said, is 4 months old, and he still wakes up once, maybe twice a night. And at this point, William was sleeping all the way through the night, and so was Carter. So that's what's different. But, you know, like they say, every baby is different. So the third thing is I have a house full of boys. I am the only girl in the house besides my dog, which doesn't count, but I'm the only girl in my house. My house, no matter what I do, always smells like boys. And I've come to realize that is just the way that it's going to be. Boys will always smell. And I know, like, my boys are clean, but at some point, I'm like, what is that smell? What is that? And so I'm constantly searching the house for whatever the hell that smell is, trying to figure it out. So that's another thing I learned, is it's just like the more boys you have in the house, just take care of the house cats. That's just what I noticed. And then number 4 is laundry. And I think this is an issue. Sorry, there's a tiny human walking down the road. He's probably like 6. Laundry is never ending. And I think this is just like a family issue. It's probably not like my family, but just like when you have a family, laundry is never ending. You know, you get to the last load and then somebody brings in another laundry basket, especially with babies. So William and Lennox both have had some issues with spit up, with reflux. William, way worse than Lennox. Lennox has like a little bit, mainly if I forget to burp him halfway through his bottle, then he just pukes everywhere, and that's my fault. That's not his fault or the milk's fault. But he was switched over recently to hypoallergenic formula because, like I said earlier, he has eczema, so his spitting up has gotten a lot worse since switching over to that. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the formula switch or if it's just he's getting a little bit older. I don't know, but I did notice though with that laundry, with the spit up, I have to wash Lennox's clothes like it seems like every other day I'm washing his clothes. And I just wash his clothes in free and clear laundry detergent. I don't use any sort of fragrances. And if I do, like if something of his clothes gets thrown in with William or Carter's clothes, which Carter does his own laundry, so typically the little boys don't, his laundry doesn't get put in with theirs. But if Lennox's clothes get put in with the other boys' clothes or even accidentally with mine, I have to strip them. So I put them in a really, really hot deep clean load with just like free and clear detergent just to get the fabric softener out, because it'll flare up on his body, and he gets patches like in his armpits here or like on his back, all over his back he'll get them, and then in his groin. But in his groin area you can't use the steroids, you just have to use you just have to keep them moisturized. And then we can use cortisone. I just don't. So because it doesn't, once I can keep it, like if I can keep it moisturized, then it's fine. It goes away like overnight. So the fifth thing I realized, which was the sweetest part of having, the most like heartfelt part of having three, is watching the relationship between the two older ones and the baby. So my two older boys, even though they're 6 years apart, and then William is like roughly 2 years from Lennox, the relationship between the two older ones and the baby, they absolutely adore Lennox. And I was a little bit worried because William is a toddler, and so I was worried that he was going to go through that phase, which, you know, it's still possible where he could go through that phase where he's jealous and where he like needs to get in between or where he's lashing out. But we've been really good about, you know, taking personal time for just William. So like Tuesdays we go jump in the trampoline park with William. Carter has his time, but they adore the baby. They're always like loving on him. They always have to say goodnight to him, especially William. He always has to go find the he calls Lennox Wicks because he can't pronounce his name, so always has to go find Wicks. It's just really like makes my heart so warm, just like watching them love on Lennox and their relationship and how like wholesome it is and how like tight it is. And I know it's just gonna get better. I know it's just gonna get like the love for each other, you know, for that relationship is gonna grow even more, and I can just see it happening like even more every day. So that is another big thing that one of the perks of being a boy mom is watching your boys just like really cling to each other. So number 6 is kind of falls into that is my youngest, which they say about one of your boys, like if you're a boy mom or if you have a boy, one of your boys is going to be a boy mom or is going to be a mama's boy. Lennox is my mama's boy. William couldn't give two craps about me 80% of the time. Carter is warming back up to me. He's been kind of, he's pretty independent. Carter is, for the most part, but Lennox is 100% mama's boy. He's been taking a while to get warmed up to like grandparents and to other people that are coming around, but even to dad sometimes he even doesn't want dad and he just wants me. And it could just be that I'm here all day with him. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so he sees me all the time, where with William I was working when after I had William. I think he was like 8 months old when I started working, and so he was with grandpa for the majority of the time, while I worked, because I worked 8 to 5. Where with Lennox, I'm a full-time student now, I own my own business, and I am a stay-at-home mom. So, stay-at-home mom, work-from-home mom. So he's with me all the time. He's on my schedule, and I've had him where he's napping at the same time William's napping, which is actually right now William and Lennox are both taking a nap. So this is like my work time. But yeah, he is like 100% mama's boy. He could be freaking out. Nobody can soothe him. Mommy walks in the room and he's just fine. He just sees me and he's fine. And based on the last 2 kids, I didn't think I was going to get a mama's boy. We actually tried for a girl before we got Lennox. We got blessed with Lennox, and now mommy has her mama's boy. Number 7 is breastfeeding. It has to do with breastfeeding. So if you weren't able to breastfeed or you aren't able to breastfeed, you can skip past this part if you want to, but you could watch it obviously if you want to. With Carter, he was pretty severely tongue-tied. I didn't know that he was tongue-tied. Breastfeeding was extremely painful for about 3 months until we learned that he was tongue-tied, and then we got it revised, or I should say I got it revised, but that didn't help. He had been feeding incorrectly for 3 months, and then my supply plummeted, and I had to put him on formula. And at that point, I knew nothing about relactation. I did not know that you could increase your milk supply. I thought once it was gone, it was gone. And if you've never heard about relactation, put hashtag relactation in the comments below, and I will have a conversation with you about that, because that is something that I learned that is absolutely amazing. I didn't even know. I'm actually in the process of relactating for Lennox right now. So breastfeeding, you're going to want, going from 2 to 3, for breastfeeding, you're going to want a hands-free pump. I don't have one. I have one in the mail. I need to get one, and I have been wanting one for a really long time. I didn't have one with Carter because I didn't breastfeed for very long, and I didn't have one with William because, again, he was tongue-tied. We got his revised, but he was a few weeks old. Breastfeeding didn't really work out, so I didn't go through the whole process to have a hands-free pup. But now that I have 3, I need a hands-free pup, especially because I'm starting to relactate, because Lennox was tongue-tied at birth too. He was tongue and lip-tied. We had it revised at 3 days old. I was still in an extreme amount of pain, even with lactation appointments, and with reteaching him how to latch on. He still wasn't getting a deep latch. So I ended up stopping breastfeeding. And now I'm in the process of relactating. I actually have an appointment on the 8th of April to talk to my OBGYN, the one that delivered Lennox, about relactating. I know in the US, it is, in Canada, they use domperidone to help people relactate, help women relactate after stopping. It is illegal in the US. They made it illegal, I think it was in 2015. They deemed it illegal. So now they use Reglan to help with relactation. I don't know what the care plan is going to be when I go talk to my OBGYN, but I have been pumping every 2 hours for the last week, and I've been taking fenugreek and blessed thistle, 3 pills 3 times a day. So I've been doing that to try to get my supply back and also staying hydrated. That's a big thing with breastfeeding also, is making sure that you're staying hydrated, because milk is made of like 80% water. So you need to make sure you're hydrated. If you're dehydrated, your milk plummets. So that is one thing. And so make sure that you have what I learned is I need a hands-free breast pump, and it is on the way, and that will make this whole process easier. Do note, though, that the manual or the hands-free breast pumps are not as strong of a suction as a hospital-grade pump. So if you want to completely empty your breast into the hands-free, you may need to massage it down, or you may need to, when it's done pumping, when you're done doing your hands-free pumping session, and you're able to, you may need to use your hospital-grade pump and pump out the rest of what's in, like, the fattier, higher part of your milk. Otherwise, the pump won't get all of your milk out, and then your body will start to think, I only need what the hands-free pump is pumping out. So make sure that you're massaging, that you're using heat and getting all of that milk out. Typically, the hands-free pumps are not strong enough to completely empty your breast, just enough to take off the discomfort that you're feeling. So you'll want to, if you don't already, you'll want to have a hospital-grade pump when you, on top of having the hands-free pump. But most insurances, even like state insurance, I'm in Washington State, and even state insurance will pay for the hospital grade pump. They won't pay for the hands-free pump. So I had to do a little bit of research and buy my own. We've noticed is generic diapers, not your friend. We used off-brand Pampers diapers. I personally don't like Pampers diapers. I feel like they're thin. I bought a package for William just because they were half the price of the Huggies, and everything, as you know, everything is going up and up and up and up and up in price right now. So I bought the Pampers. I was like, well, these will just work because William's not ready to potty train yet, and he's 3. He turned 3 in February. He's not ready to potty train. I'm not going to push it. He has the potty chair in the bathroom. It goes in there with me. Sometimes, for the most part, I don't let the kids go into the bathroom with me unless I'm teaching them how to potty train, because we deserve privacy in the bathroom just like they do when they start going to the bathroom. So he's not ready to potty train. So I bought Pampers, and they were trash. They're thin. He leaked through them, and he's at the right size. Like, it wasn't too loose. It wasn't too tight. They were just super thin, and as soon as he would pee in them, his pants would feel wet. They'd feel like all moist and wet and soggy and gross. So we have always liked the Huggies diapers. They are more expensive, but I feel like the quality is there. For me, even like the Kirkland diapers, which supposedly are made the same factory that Huggies are made, to me they just don't hold up as well as the Huggies diapers, maybe because I have super active children. Even my 4-month-old is really active. My 3-year-old's really active, and has always been like, go, 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 go. And so that could be part of the problem, that, you know, the Pampers didn't work and the Huggies do, because they have that like cinch around the legs and the waist for them. But for us, what I've learned is not to cheap out on diapers. You're going to end up wasting diapers, going through diapers quicker, buying the cheap ones, and then you're spending that same amount of money as if you would have bought the more expensive ones, because they don't leak. Especially at night was like a big thing. He would wake up and there would be like, he would poop in the morning as soon as he woke up, and it would like go down his legs when I had him in the Pampers. Or where like the Huggies, they like hold on to his legs, so it would hold it until I could get upstairs. But as soon as he wakes up, like it's like clockwork, as soon as he wakes up he poops. And so if I hear him on the monitor, then I have to come upstairs. Otherwise he like jumps on his bed and he sits, and yeah, it goes everywhere, and then we're, you know, at a practical blowout. So don't cheap out on diapers. Spend a little bit of extra money on good diapers. I learned going from 2 kids to 3, keeping in mind that every baby is different, every family is different. these are just things that worked out for us that I learned that make our life a little bit easier, that kind of help our life run as smooth as it can. If your baby has eczema, I would love recommendations on treatment for eczema. This is my first time having a baby with eczema, so it's all new territory for me. I am going to end the video here. Like I said, hit that subscribe button, make sure that your bell notification is on, and we will see you on Friday. Bye.